They use RPG. They knock them. Boom! Before we 1 year, I get 2 calls from people that they stay inside Alabukam. I get calls. They say, when I don't hear what happen, I say, now what it don't happen. They say ADF. They say the noise we don't come up from inside Alabukam. We don't know that kind of noise. So before the ADF people themselves, the ones send with the report, the locals, the people that stay for Alabukam, don't ready call. They tell we. Now the good news that to La République du Cameroun Amoka, they don't be destroyed this evening. The other one them, as the first 2, they take the first 2 down. The other one them, any man just find the road, it turn. So the shooting we did for Alabukam, not be small one. The population, most of them, they don't run for make sure say any man take cover. Now the good news this. Now the great news this. To La République Amoka, they don't be destroyed. One, they use the explosive, and the second one, they use RPG for take them down. We want to take this time for thank the ADF Bamenda Brigade, for thank what big forces them, for thank what forces them for this kind of work where they do for end Cameroon occupation of Ambazonia, for move the only thing will the Republic this state get them for our country. We thank on plenty. We thank on plenty. We'll get more news hotel now, but because today, now the day where General Efang, he want to address the Ambazonian people them, we'll get a lot of other actions the way they don't carry them out today. We'll go only leave them with this one because as the general, he want to address the Ambazonian people them. He finds he will bring this message for all the Ambazonian people them. So my fellow Ambazonians, make we take the time, when I listen for the general, when I listen for the supreme commander, when I listen for the person, when I lead the liberation for homeland, when I listen for the supreme commander of Ambazonia Defense Forces, General Efang.
Great Ambazonians, I come from the front today, now by the grace of God. I'm go straight to the point. My mommy, my papa them, brothers and sisters, I'm not say, there is a war inside Ambazonia. Now war where they declare on we, the Ambazonians. I know say some of you do something that will be very, very wrong. When I pray, I want to pray for we don't reduce. I come from the front today and I say, then when I pray, I want to pray for we. When I keep on the pray. And we, some of we go try for make our brother to understand say, what do they do I not correct? We go caution them, advise them. When I keep need for support we. I will talk again concerning diasporans. Now our papa they're out of the country. Where they're out of the country. We get the IG. We get the head of C. My papa they're for diaspora. We get beg now. So we try to come as one people. We get one focus for this revolution. That divided spirit, we hell we for anything. We not try to work as one. With the beg now, who are there for ground. The IG and the egg of C. We take on them beg now. I will go down with the forces for ground. All the forces for ground when I play the day. Because of those sacrifice our life for fight for our land of birth, for fight for our freedom. Because this fight was the fight, now fight they will declare on we. And Allah will come the road to shoot the first gun for we the Ambazonian. Just because we were the top for our right, they use gun for suppression, some will keep silence. My fellow brothers, if you go for Kondengi, you go see plenty of our brothers. We do not do nothing just because they talk for inside their country, Ambazonia, for their right. They don't lock them up. My fellow brothers, the moment don't reach for unite ourselves, all the sisters, brother forces, the moment don't come for unite ourselves, for push occupier out of our country. I take God name, I beg una. I take God name, I beg una. All the generalism, Mezam, Fako, the moment don't come for unite ourselves, push occupier out of our country. If you want to look at when the Republic attack any of our bases, we will not stand for defend our country. For why? Because they suppress we. When the attack they come in number, thousands. Why we will not unite ourselves? Work like them too. My fellow brothers, I beg una the moment don't reach. We unite ourselves, we work as one. Don't use even forest garden now. Use waters they go prison. Combine them all. You are here say 500 soldiers, 1,000 soldiers enter some area because they don't combine their forces. The moment don't reach for we, my fellow Ambazonians, fellow generals, we combine our forces. Fight back because they don't want to war. They will declare on we and they will shoot the first gun. I just take God name and beg una. Collaboration in matter. If you look at my back, I went to the commander for ADF. As an Ambazonian, they will need to unite ourselves. Go for the Republic of Cameroon, you get so many forces. But when they attack us, they join themselves for one bundle. Can attack we. We need to join ourselves for one bundle. Fight back for our right. Make sure you are brought into prison. One day they'll get their freedom. Sisi go to prison. Now because they stand up for a country. So many others, they don't die because they stand up for fight, for speak the truth for their land of birth. If we want to look up before we start this war, the first place we go for them now for our funds, for our villages, for make them, for tell them say enough is enough. But today, now some of our funds they betray we. They do go join the Republic of Cameroon. I don't know what they go join them for do. After all these years, my papa there, we march for now the first day when the Republic of Cameroon shoot the first gun on us Ambazonians because they talk for our right. You will go for them. That means you don't get place for inside Ambazonia. I just when I say me all na come for na senses. Enough is enough. The moment don't reach for we, for work for one direction, follow one track. They don't give you nothing. If they want to do something, they don't give you. Then they kill our people. Our phones, they are killing our people. They are killing your people. When I need to stand up. Maybe you not be affected by the war where we are going on us today. If you don't wake up or sleep, tomorrow it will affect you because it will affect some families. I just take on my beg now. If you go, plenty things don't have prevention the revolution. Plenty of our brothers don't die. What will be the cause now some of our people just because they want to enrich themselves for inside the revolution. I come up today, one of the commander and some of the commanders our idea. This part the first I come up today. No, they say our bad plenty. No, they say our no plenty. This drop, Caillou, Thailand, now our people, they sell them for inside Ambazonia. And we see that they arrest soldiers them today. Now because of Caillou, Thailand. Who the fool? Now our people. We begin to take that thing. And they will behave normal. Now why they see they walk out the street, harass people, kidnap people. I do call all the generals and commanders, say me any man caution the Pekin. Would they out and fight for our land of God? Will not they out now for torment or intimidate our own people inside Ambazonia? Any man will say Caillou, Thailand. When they catch you, you'll go in for. I want to beg all our own people there inside Ambazonia. Why defeat like the Cameroon with information for saying they destroy your own country? Why? Why defeat like the Cameroon with information? May they kill your own people. The moment don't come for we for work as one. I want to ask you a question. How many Larabobic people don't die inside Ambazonia? People don't die inside Ambazonia, Larabobic. Those are the village can kill them. Mommy don't die. Burn our houses. Destroy our properties. You know why I hear that with Larabobic to Cameroon? My mommy, my papa, them, my parents, they tell no reason for we. For stand up, for talk one language. No matter the village you will come from. Do want to in a war for discriminate? We need to unite ourselves. Why there we strive? We need to unite ourselves. Push your compare out of our country. Most stop all the infight to the fight. It's not going to help we. Mommy, papa, they see back when again. So now continue to pray for we when I begin the way we don't stand up for fight for our land for our land of birth. Now war they will declare on we. I take on name. I beg you now. Any man where there was some place say you want to betray this struggle. I will not come to cover us inside my back. Now come away the ancestors of the land they give me. Now why me for this? And no say for inside Ambazonia with the multiple liberation. Now with the Mimbo. Any man where inside the Ambazonia where things say him just like going to Cameroon for betray country. For betray country, betray people, betray land of birth. Now you are on this. But any man where they fight for this country, and I people declare the first gun, shoot the first gun, bring me word before you talk for our right. If you get out for say move fight for our right, now you are on this. Mama, me my father. We now continue to pray for we. We take God name, we beg you now. Any error where some of you don't commit a fool now. We now forgive we. Thank you very much.
My fellow people, that the Supreme Commander that for the Ambazonia Defense Forces, and a Supreme General for the ADF. Now the person that when I did lead the liberation for Ground Zero. Now the person that when I did lead all the fight for Ground Zero. Now the person that will coordinate the liberation of Ambazonia. Today, General F and don't come out. No place, no day inside Ambazonia where General F and never enter. You know what did happen for Ground Zero. You know how strong Ground Zero be. You know how powerful we as a people will be. For a general with control thousands of soldiers. For can't tell una, say una unite. It means a lot. Una listen for the una don't listen for the general. It don't tell una some of the small things the way they go wrong for Ground Zero. And wait till they try for do them for correct them. will be a powerful people. Will face a brutal occupier. But that occupier don't be defeated. Through the strategy, Ambazonia need for take charge. Move the armor card where they remain for inside our land. That's why the general they make this appeal. Because he know the only thing will the Republic get up. Now only the armor cars. That's why they call all soldiers them. Make them work together for free the land and end the suffering, the killing, the raping, and the burnings of our villages, our houses, our towns, our businesses. Will be capable. It will take a different level of courage for generals and where they get different ideology. For put the liberation first. For put the protection of the people then first. And stand for under that one common objective. Politics therefore comes second. The liberation of homeland, as the general don't talk. Now the focus will get for be for all man. For every single Ambazonian. The liberation. A lot of forces them for down. They don't take them, they turn them for politicians. Instead for make them liberation fighters. We got to bridge these gaps. For be a soldier, you stand up now for liberate the land, protect the people, and defend the people. You can't forget a big heart like General Effa. For you for come up for outside and can't make this kind of message. For call other fighters and other forces and other generals. Even though now you get the biggest force for ground. Even though now you get most of the weapons for ground. Even though now you control most of the fighters for ground. Even though now you be the most equipped. You be the most structured. But they know say Ambazonia could be more stronger. With even the smallest brigade. And the biggest brigade. They work together. They coordinate together. They plan together. We go succeed faster. Than the message that. So we hope say the general he appeal a love for Ambazonia, a love for a fellow fighters, a love for all Ambazonians, a love for our people that they suffer for prison, because he also want make they achieve their freedom faster. And he knows that the pressure for ground now it matter. Now I go give Ambazonia what he want. So I hope so all the fighters, una don't listen for the talk today. Una pick up on phones. Una start for call each other. Una pick up on phones. Una reach out to General Effa. Una reach out to the ADF generals. Una say, I be ready. Make we work together. Are they for Meme? Are they for Fako? Are they for Ndian? Are they for Coupe? How will we work together? Are they for Bui? Are they for Ngoketuja? How will we work together? How will we plan together? How will we coordinate together? Will we do them? you no go fit do the work you want. If you there for Bui, you no go fit do the work you want. You there for Ngoketuja, you no go fit do the work you want. You there for Manu, you no go fit do the work you want. Or you didn't have on Dian, you no go fit do the work you want. Collaboration make you stronger. It help you think that we not get them. You be weak for here, the one way to be strong for day. When I work together, when I achieve the one goal. The land they liberate and for who? Now for all people them. What a great general. See the kind of leadership we don't project them for the Ambazonia people them. See the kind of structures we don't put up for our people them. The kind of hope we don't give for our people them. Now I time this. Now I hear this. The forces that they work. The game don't finish for Cameroon. Now just coordination for ground zero. It will give you the needed victory. Faster. The collaboration not be for some person. Now for deliver the victory for the Ambazonian people faster. The collaboration with the general they call for. Now because he want make Ambazonia it be liberated faster. Because we want make 2021 me being at the turning point for Ambazonian people, their hopes. We want this 2021 me being at the year where everything change for the Ambazonian people them. Now they wish that. That's why it go these extra steps. Because with great powers comes great responsibility. The greater the power where you get them, it also means say now you got for reach out to even the small one them. For increase that power for all man. For achieve the goals and for the people them. Now the responsibility for the Ambazonia Defense Forces as the leading liberation defense group for Ground Zero. Now their responsibility for effectuate collaboration for Ground Zero. Now the responsibility of the Ambazonia Defense Forces for lead the collaboration project. For the people them. So too for other political movements. We not get forces on ground, we not give them what they need for them to be successful. Because sometimes the reason why some of these other forces, sometimes they don't want to collaborate. Now because when they see the power of the ADF, they say, oh, how will money go collaborate with ADF? They just been too powerful. So inferiority complex, it make no one work together. Because no one feel inferior. Because the people the way that they control them, not give them the guns. You know, arm them. Now, one of the key things in this, so any group where they control defense forces for ground, for them to become effective, those political groups, they owe those boys them the dignity for provide them with the weapons. And the people where they did for those political groups where they did for outside here, they did raise money on behalf of fighters. When I use that money, just like ADF did one, buy those boys and weapons. The groups that they did for outside here, they use the name of fighters for raise money. When I use that money, also for these fighters, if you don't be for a defense group for 4 years, they need to give you weapons. They need to train you. They need to treat you well. Wait till they still do for them. Why you still carry that name? Now the question that I'll get for action at you. You don't be for a defense group for 4 years. They need to provide you with training. They need to provide you with education. They need to provide you with materials. We now abandon the failed groups who they need to take care of fighters. And we now come under proper structures. We go help Ambazonia for move forward. The general don't talk his heart out for all una. Una show respect for this man. All we owe General Efang a lot for the sacrifices we make for the Ambazonia people them. For the army we build them for the Ambazonia people them. We get a lot for show una. But today I want to leave the talk for here. I want still appeal for other commanders and other generals. When I reach out to the Ambazonia Defense Forces, when I work together. When I go get the support, when I go get the education, when I go get the training, it will make when I become more effective. When I will get the backup. But until when I establish that trust between Wuna and the Ambazonia Defense Forces, now the trust, now I go give the confidence for ADF, for the help other forces, for places where help be needed. You don't be the stabilization force. For help all groups and for ground zero, where help be needed. As part of the elite forces them for Ambazonia Defense Forces. For stabilize the ground. Over the last 2 weeks, when I don't see plenty big actions that take place for ground zero. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, under the Governing Council of Ambazonia, it will continue to lead the charge for the liberation of the Ambazonia people. But while the ADF, it will lead the charge, the Ambazonia Defense Forces and the Governing Council of Ambazonia, it no go wait for any person make it be ready for join the moving train. The Governing Council of Ambazonia, it no go wait for people until they be ready for liberate the land. So too is the ADF. The Ambazonia Defense Forces, it no go wait until other forces they be ready for collaborate for liberate the land. So while the general they make this appeal, the ADF under the Governing Council of Ambazonia, it go to implement the stabilization plan for ground zero. So that we fit start for put the transition authority in place for give our people them control over their land. We go work with the people that be ready. We go work with the forces who they be ready for work with for collaborate with. Why would you lead the charge for implement the stabilization plan and cement the future of Ambazonia for our people then? Now 2021 this. Now the year for take back our country. Now the year for project power for ground zero. Now the year for tell the world so we don't defeat Cameroon and we take back that country and project Ambazonian dominance for ground zero. And the Ambazonia Defense Forces, now the dominant strength and power for help for make that happen for ground zero. So our sister forces, they fit count on the support of ADF when help be needed. All right? That's the messages for today. We want to thank the Supreme Commander of the Ambazonia Defense Forces, General Efang, for his leadership for Ground Zero, for the kind structure we don't put on for Ground Zero, for the kind plan we don't put on for Ground Zero, for end Cameroon occupation and liberate our people then. We want to thank you plenty, General Efang, for the sacrifices where you and all other generals and commanders and all the fighters them for Ground Zero, for the sacrifices we want to make for our collective freedom. We want to thank you plenty. We want to thank you plenty. Say as we the fight, we know say now we be the hope, the people that they carry the hope, the dreams, the aspiration, and the lives of 8 million Ambazonians, including future generations. It didn't for una hand. That's why una fit count on the Governing Council of Ambazonia for consistently provide una with what una need for get the job done on behalf of the people. We go above and beyond for make sure say we provide the general and the other generals and the commanders and the fighters who waited they need them. Number one, for protect themselves. Number two, for protect our people them. And number three, for defend the sovereignty of Ambazonia. This generation is not going to make any compromises for the sovereignty of Ambazonia. That's how the focus for build the army for start take charge of the land and project power to the international community. May God bless all now. When I get a beautiful Saturday evening, if you're not there for places where they be safe, I beg. When I try for some take, when I take time, when I relax in a very safe way. May person not take any risk for go nightclub or go try for do some kind of thing then where it will put your life in danger. Now wartime this, your own safety, your own life, it matter past any enjoyment. Any small mistake, you go lose your life. You come out, they can't attack that place, you go lose your life. You go drink, you forget, say you didn't have for under war conditions, you go lose your life. Una be very smart. We still get plenty life ahead of you. Plenty enjoyment still there. Everyone will do for outside here. We need to live our life anyhow because of the responsibility of homeland. We don't adjust ourselves based on the environment and the circumstances of the liberation. We don't adjust our life. Some kind of thing they do, we don't give them up. Not because we not be, but because you go for live, you go for be smart. Any mistake, your life they go. All young boys them. When I forget about club, when I forget about some kind of thing there now, when our life be very important. Any small mistake, you will lose your life. Or they catch you go lock up, or they catch you beat up, or they seize your this, or they seize your that. At the beg when I enjoy in the way it make you safe. When I still enjoy for house. Some of we even for Canada here, you know the last lockdown where they put them. Now for 3 months ago. Restaurant they be closed, nightclub they be closed, bar they be closed. Most things the way if you even go do small things in me just get more fun. They be closed. How na things we live? We spend Christmas. We not visit friends. For place we won't all day, but just because of coronavirus. Even for Christmas Day, you not go visit your best friend. New Year Day, you not go visit your neighbor. We die. At the back, with the back when are out of love, we talk this thing. Young girls, they will not talk to someone and not live on a life. We just beg, we not do it for a safe way, so that we feel preserve our people their lives. We want to make more Ambazonians that live for enjoy this independence. Una here, I beg, we over love una plenty. So sometimes when an officer will over talk, and just because we over care. No, I mean, nothing happen for any of our person. Oh, yes, a person don't die, they touch you plenty. It over touch you. Because one person in life, it be very valuable. Oh, yes, a piggy don't die, or some boy don't die, or some girl don't die, something don't happen. It really touch we. Because we value our people, their lives. Okay? Now the reason this we can't get this conversation. So one just tell us we love na plenty. We wanna get a good Saturday. Tomorrow I get some very important message also. I get for can deliver them for una. I will talk for una tomorrow. All right? We love you now. We wanna get good night. We'll talk tomorrow. Okay? Bye. Una good night. May God bless all now. Alabukam, una cafe day. ADF headquarters. Thank you plenty. Thank you plenty. All right, we just what would you make sure say, the people for ACN, the feet take we out. We don't finish what we talk for today. So all man, when I get a good weekend, when I good night, I'll leave now this music. While the people for ACN they take over.
Menemo, I have fuck it. I'm tak better with international. My friend is so freestyle, but in my bed with different storylines, with different punchlines. A Jongzo and a more universal rapper.
AJ on track.
Namsi na anu ba wano obasa na ko me ne kama me miracle but in my rap so touching my rascal menemo ango am be na ngaton akabelo on YouTube tere ko na indon to kirani life is strong alive na ton ba ton menemo awo when better cap go when cap awo when kala no chugo when ka ke dinga saka mo ba ka chin mo ga mo fete mo bana cha mo kuma binga kam ina back up ma jam ka fasa no de ma hanko mo nuru fe para no bus mo rapi anta da gimbe na gam ngam kane ma para ki mo ma gam ngana mo yata ke no kam nganta ka beti ta manyi ne mero chum sila wana weta kama benga yini kama no ko anga obe ram ne ka ko mo ko ba sa am mo tingu tini mo ko ru isingu ngom ba no ira bazira njine ba imba ngom no ira bazira njizam kama zama buke bazira njine ke ba gani ne mo kan jiro bo raba ngama benga woni ngaba nenga mazama buke ba benga uza kwara be shoto ne be zama za obi the next bonga woni the next move plan the class ba tabu chom tuo chom nguru chom fe chom sima fa gani ay mo bune to zo ga ba ni ye mo bune to beru jitom menemo mo ngom na sa kanano